Now we've started seeing that Plato or Socrates, well, it's really Plato's view, at least the scholars believe and assert that the earlier dialogues Plato is espousing, is presenting Socrates' views. Here here in the Republic, Plato is presenting his own views, and his view on political philosophy, what's right or wrong for the government, for society in general to do, what rights the government have, what obligations the citizens have. This is just another question in ethics, because society is just a big individual. And the way Plato has defined the virtues of the state, society, is by reference to what he thinks are the parts of the state. That is, and he says there are three relevant parts of the state. That is, three kinds of citizens. One kind of citizen obviously is kind of the ordinary folks, the craftsmen, the merchants, the farmers, the ranchers, the people who produce all of the goods that society uses. Today, the bankers, really most of the people are just the plain citizens. And he says, well, if you look at their nature, what they're doing, they're pursuing a craft. They're really seeking pleasure. They have this love of material things, and they practice their craft because it produces things. The craftsman, let's say the guy who builds things with wood, the shipbuilder, he produces ships and it makes him money. The merchant sells stuff, and that's how the farmers grow stuff. So this is really what they are focused in. He said, but then there's also a class of citizens that you need, which he calls the guardians. That is, these are the guys who have to maintain order in the society. They're the enforcers of the laws. When you think about it, the soldiers. They carry out the law, they make sure the law is enforced, and they make sure it's enforced equally. And then the final class is the rulers. And the rulers are the people who make the laws. These are the people who have the wisdom and knowledge to make the laws, and that's what their function in life is. And each class of citizen, according to Plato, has its own particular virtue.